Chapter 63, The Cost of Knowing. Orla walked for well over an hour, letting her feet set the rhythm her mind could follow. She had friends in Sanctuary, plenty of them, but none she trusted with what Rylan had revealed. Not this, not a secret powerful enough to buy a favor with the Shapers, or doom a man who had already been declared dead by the only organization capable of rewriting Sanctuary's laws. Two people knew Ryland's entire plan, and she was the second. She kept turning the knowledge over in her mind like a blade testing its own edge. She wanted to be the person who saw Ryland's vision come to fruition. She wanted to stand on the moral high ground she'd spent decades building, protecting worlds, not exploiting them. With the lure of handing his secrets to the Shapers and rising to unimaginable heights, she was not immune to that temptation either. Fortunately, she had time to consider. She returned to the compound and found the children of Earth gathered around a table, sharing a freshly cooked meal. The Vordran, Click Click, was serving them. His black-on-black shell and deep clicking voice stood out even among the strangeness of Sanctuary. Orla found herself wondering why Vordran would willingly ally with a fugitive Shaper like Rylan, why this creature of all beings would choose this side of a war. She dismissed the thought and approached. "Vordran," she announced. "Click, click, where is Rylan?" Click, click responded in his native tongue, sharp clicks and stuttering tones. Orla's shadow creature perched on her shoulder repeated the translation in a whispering hum. "He does not know." Orla's eyes swept across the table of clueless young adepts, chewing, talking, laughing, utterly unaware of the unimaginable conflict about to swallow them whole. She felt a surge of moral discomfort. Was it right to let them march blindly towards a war they did not understand? Minor roles, she told herself, but not unimportant. "Orla," Liz called between bites, "will you teach us about magic?" Orla mastered her expression before turning to the girl. "That is not my role here." "What would it take for you to teach?" Liz paused, choosing her words carefully. "All of us." Orla caught the pause immediately. Liz did not see the group as us, not at all. "A miracle?" Orla answered. Liz clearly hated that response, but hid it behind another bite of food. Orla turned to leave and nearly collided with Rylan. She flinched as the ripples of dimensional essence peeled away from him. "Rylan," she greeted, forcing calm. "Judge," he replied, gaze narrowed. "Suspicious, are we?" she asked lightly. "I thought you'd deliberate longer," he said. "I will," Orla corrected, "but a few hours is enough for me to decide where I stand for the moment." Rylan frowned. "A few hours?" "Yes," she said. Her pulse quickened with dread she didn't yet understand. "Why is that surprising?" "Walk with me," Rylan said. They stepped out into the district streets. Only when they'd put distance between themselves and the adepts did Orla speak. "What happened, Rylan?" "The essence wells show a strong time dilation effect," he said quietly. "Stronger than I realized or accounted for." Orla's eyes widened. "How strong?" "How long was I gone?" he asked. "Nearly 2 span, maybe slightly less," she said. Rylan nodded grimly. "I was there for under 15 minutes. Time flows at least 8-fold slower inside the wells." Orla turned sharply to him, shock plain on her face. The secrets of the universe were unfolding too fast, too violently. "The Shapers must know," Rylan said. "They must use that. Gives them another advantage among their many." "I'm sure it troubles you more than me," Orla muttered. She wondered quietly, dangerously, if she could angle to accompany him there. But if Rylan disappeared with the adepts, she'd remain in Sanctuary alone, left with temptation curling through her mind like smoke. "You want to come with us," Rylan said, reading her. Orla sighed. "You're a dangerous man, Rylan." "Everyone is dangerous," Rylan replied. "Some just understand the depth of it more than others." "What happens if I choose not to go?" she asked. "What are the consequences of knowing what I know?" Rylan grinned. "You're going to help. I cannot risk a judge with your knowledge sitting idle in a city full of Shaper influence." For a heartbeat, Orla considered attacking him, testing her strength against his. She felt the faintest spark of curiosity, but overshadowing that was something else. The realization that she could help him, that she should probably help him. "You're not going to fight me?" Rylan asked, genuinely curious. Orla simply shook her head. You've made your choice, then, he asked, astonished. The universe makes choices for us when we're too weak to make them on our own, Orla said softly. She felt the pull of something larger than herself, grand essence guiding her steps. Send me to the wells, Rylan. She didn't even have time to blink. Sanctuary dissolved. The crystalline caverns rose around her, glowing, endless, and impossible. A creature sat watching her, thick fur shimmering through shifting colors under the crystal light, pointed ears flattened, trying to mimic a human shape, her head cocked in curiosity. A judge? Vuet said calmly. A sanctuary judge? Her eyes narrowed. Did you decide to betray Rylan, or has something happened? Orla smiled, small and certain. Something happened.